Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. All hail Queen Kuvira. Since Legend of Korra Book 4 starts tomorrow, I wanted to do my top 10 villains on the series so far. Both series, that is. Based on the Chinese translations that people have put forth for this banner, it just says, All hail Queen Kuvira. You could also say President Kuvira, but she's looking like she's going to be the big antagonist of Book 4. So far. It's possible somebody else could come along too. Both series have had some great villains, so now let's rank them. And quick reminder too, I know you guys will like this, the weekly Korra giveaway is starting again. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. So here we go. Number 10, right off the bat, Kuvira. She goes at the bottom of the list just because it's the beginning of the season and she is an unproven villain. I totally have high expectations for her. She's going to be one of, if not the last villain on an Avatar TV series. So she's got these other 9 people that she's got to out evil. When we saw the Book 4 trailer, I got really optimistic because she reminded me a lot of Ozai, the way he crowned himself as the Phoenix King right in front of all those legions. She's going to be the bully marching the army around this year. I'm totally going into Book 4 keeping an open mind, so I'm really hoping that she lives up to, one of those top 5 villains. Number 9, Koh the Face Stealer. Still haven't got a good answer as to where he or she is in present day, probably waiting for another Avatar to come along. I feel like he, I'm just going to call him a he, was intended to be a villain to make Aang doubt himself, which is why he was a Spirit World character. It was all about messing with his head. You could argue that all of Korra's villains have done that to her in some way, especially Zahir in Book 3. I think that's the real reason we haven't seen Koh on the Korra series, just because they gave the role he serves in the story to physical world villains. I won't be super upset or anything if he doesn't show up. We did get to see Wan Shi Tong, and I feel like that was a big deal. Number 8, Unalaq and Unavatu. I'm including both of them as the same one, Unavatu being the Dark Avatar. I wasn't really happy with the way the character turned out, but I do have to give props for the big twist on the Avatar lineage. It all depended on the introduction of Vaatu into the story, who I also included on this list separately, but I feel like we did not spend enough time with them before things went crazy. Like, Unalaq didn't get a lot of his own episodes, and that's really where you get the best character development. I also feel like the final boss form of Unavatu, the Dark Avatar form, didn't quite turn out to be the terrifying villain you wanted it to be at the end of a season. There were a whole lot of other pacing and story issues I had with the Book 2 finale, but Unalaq and the Dark Avatar felt like great villains that just didn't pan out quite the way they were originally imagined. Like, I feel like they started as a great idea, what if there was a Dark Avatar, and it just did not pan out. Number 7, Zuko from Book 1 of Last Airbender. A lot of the best characters start out at one end of the spectrum and swing to the other by the end of a series. Zuko had the benefit of being one of the main characters, and he wasn't always defined by his relationship with the Avatar. Like, he started out that way, but then we got to see him with his big family arc in the Fire Nation, and he got that Sojourn arc in the Earth Kingdom. There have not been a lot of Avatar characters that have gotten so much time dedicated to them, which is probably why those others aren't so memorable. I mean, the more you spend with a good character, the more you start to love him, so of course Zuko stands above the rest. The reason he's not higher on this list is just because he is one of the best Avatar characters in general. He was just pretty lousy as a villain. I mean, let's be honest, Aang just kept running circles around him, so his general level of evilness just wasn't that great. Number 6, Fire Lord Sozin. He is someone who knew how to get an evil job done. There's a reason it's called Sozin's Comet. I really do miss the flashbacks in the Korra series. There were so many good ones during Last Airbender. Sozin's is obviously one of the more important ones because it tells the tale of how the 100-Year War began. He's going to go down in history as one of the most successful warlords ever. I'm sure Kuvira has read a lot of books about him. He really only started the 100-Year War and presided over the escalation. The cleanup job mostly fell on his son Azalon and his grandson Ozai, who kind of dropped the ball. Obviously, the big twist in Book 4 is that it's the metal-bending tribe that's going around trying to conquer the world. Number 5, embodiment of all evil, Vaatu. I totally love the concept for this character, but I feel like he and Raava were just brought into the story too soon. I understand that right after doing a human villain like Amon, Bright didn't want to do the exact same thing, so they rolled out a spiritual villain. But when you start talking about universal concepts like good and evil, it just feels like it's too big to be sandwiched in the middle of a series. Korra defeated Vaatu, so it's like saying Korra defeated evil incarnate. Vaatu is like the essence of evil, so it's kind of ridiculous when you vanquish the sum of all evil in the universe and you still have 2 more giant story arcs. I just feel like they should have pushed the reopening of the spirit portals and balancing quote-unquote Rava and Vaatu to the end of book 4. It's okay if you don't agree, but I feel like ending on something like that would have been the best way to tee up expanded material for after the TV show's done. Like the comics could have told the story of how we learned to live with the spirits, like before Avatar 1. It feels like a much cleaner execution when you begin the story with Avatar 1 and you end like on a similar theme in a similar place. It's all about the circle of life on Avatar, so somebody can cue the Lion King music. Let me know if you agree though. Do you think the series should end on a moment that ties back with Avatar 1? Number 4, Azula. She was just so much fun. Very well written, got a lot of time to develop in the narrative, and was voiced by the amazing Grey DeLisle. If you want to learn more about Azula after the Last Airbender series, just read the comics. I've noticed a lot of you don't know where to buy them. If your local comic shop doesn't have them, you can totally find them online on Comixology.com. I will totally be okay if we do not see Azula in book 4, but it would be awesome if we got a name drop. Number 3, Firelord Ozai. Not quite as complex as some of the other villains like Zuko, but largely thanks to Mark Hamill's crazy performance and the highly serialized nature of the Last Airbender series, he turned out to be a very good big bad. Sometimes I feel like over-the-top crazy villains are the best. Unless you count the flashbacks to his early childhood, Ozai was always the clear villain, very uncomplicated. He wanted to crush the Avatar and dominate the world. Very simple to understand, very easy to follow. It just made the final arc of the Last Airbender series very clear, like Aang's path was very clear. Squish him like a bug. Thus the entire Last Airbender series became all about the rise of Aang and the fall of Ozai. The bigger the villain, the more satisfying the takedown, which is why I'm not sure if Korra taking Kuvira down at the end of this series is going to be as satisfying. We haven't seen a lot of Kuvira yet, so we're just going to have to wait and see. I'm going to withhold all judgment about Kuvira as a villain until the end of book 4. Number 2, Team Zahir. One of the best villain groups from either Avatar series. I felt like the Red Lotus characters got the same attention that Amon got in book 1, and conceptually they were very unique in their motivation. Zahir felt like a very Nietzschean twist on Amon's Machiavellian villain. I only think of Zahir in a Nietzschean aspect in the idea that he wanted to kill God, obviously being represented by the Avatar. He wasn't exactly Nietzschean because he did have spiritual beliefs, and nihilism is like the belief in nothing. Zahir very clearly believed in higher powers than himself, like Guru Lahima. Henry Rollins totally deserves a lot of credit for that cool, creepy performance. Something about the villain being very calm and together just makes him way scarier. And he's not dead either, so I will be interested to see how he's referenced in book 4. But Gazan supposedly died in the lava flow, Pali was killed by Su Yin, and Ming Hua was shocked to death by Mako. So Zahir is all by himself in prison right now. And my number 1 Avatar villain, Amon. He's still my favorite right now just because the execution and performance was just so amazing. I loved all the costumes of book 1 and the grandeur of his anti-bending campaign. Very good conceptually. Like he was a good analog for real-life sinister political dissidents. It just made his mission very relatable. Get people to believe that benders treat normal people like second-class citizens, so he's going to level the playing field until everyone is equal. Very good, very simple story arc. We only got to see him for a very truncated season, but I feel like he was such a fresh challenge for the Avatar and had such a tragic life story, he ended up being one of the more memorable villains, if not the most memorable. It's like he was Zuko if Zuko had gone darker instead of joining Team Avatar. And then there's the performance. Probably only a few people in the world that could match a Steven Blum villain performance. Such an amazing voice. Maybe like Mark Hamill, Grey DeLisle, very few people. Let me know though, who is your favorite Avatar villain of all time, and do you think that Kuvira is going to be able to top some of the big Avatar villains? Remember, the trailer does not reveal everything, so there could be other villains that surface during the season. Just as a quick side note, if you do want to see more Steven Blum right now, he's one of the main characters on Star Wars Rebels. They're airing the first episode on Disney XD tomorrow night. I am going to be posting one more Korra video before episode 1 airs tomorrow, so be sure to subscribe to get it. And don't forget, Nick.com, 12 p.m. Pacific time is about when the episode's going to drop. If you watch the Google Play Store too, sometimes they post episodes there early, but you do have to pay for them. Right now though, click here for my breakdown of the Book 4 trailer, and click here for my non-spoilery Star Wars Rebels Episode 1 review. Thank you so much for watching, so let's all high five. Do not forget Star Wars Rebels and Korra Episode 1 tomorrow.